Greetings, esteemed guests, and welcome to the Super Mario Bros. 3 Randomizer Weekly Race. We have a very interesting flag set for you today, as we have what looks like 5 runners available, but of course we can only fit 4 on Restream, so our apologies, we don't want anyone to get cross-eyed here. I am Wolfman2000, also known as Danstead, and we have at least, again, we can only fit 4, but we have 4 very strong runners here. Macobra52, Leslie Pro 04, Gary and Old Wolf, and Teeks. And I will talk about the flag set just in a few seconds. I want to make sure our runners are ready to take off. And I believe they are. So here is what's going to happen. We are using a flag set that I don't think is that common right now, but it will be soon. The short version, if you remember the previous tournament, we have basically taken some of those flags and combined them with some of the new features for the 1.3 version of this randomizer. However, we're also keeping things a little bit more orderly than usual tonight, so I will tell you right now, the world order is going to be vanilla. We are locking that down tonight. And the tiles are going to match. So if you see a 5 tile in World 1, you will see 1 5. Of course, we're still going to have our traditional enemy shuffler, power-up shuffler, and all that, as Garion just realized with that Karibo shoe. Yes, this may be a little crazy, but there is a reason for it. Again, we're testing out some of the new features right now. Let's try not to overwhelm everyone here. And don't worry, we'll go back to some traditional chaos soon enough. Or will we? Granted, 1-6 is a plenty chaotic stage with the floating fire chumps and the fire snakes that are, well, about to burn out by hitting the ground, I guess. And ooh, Teeks finding a Bob-Bomb early. Okay, this 1-5 is starting to cause problems for our runners here. This just goes to show, sometimes keeping things in a fixed state can still cause enough chaos. We may have to look into that balance for later on. As usual, the eastern part of the world is going to be ignored. Not many runners like to spend the time just to go to that one Toad house, so it gets ignored and... Uh-oh. Did Leslie have a dropped input? Yep. Had a dropped input, pause, try to recover, no deal. So let's try again. And oh, Teeks unfortunately recovered a little bit too late. Down to 1 more life, and here's the unfortunate part. We still shuffle where the level locations are. The fortress, which is going to be 1-4, is at the bottom, just before the end of the world. Which means we have a very interesting decision to make. If we're down to 1 life, do we just go straight for Boom Boom? Or if we get the raccoon tail, do we go for it? Do we go for that item at the top? Oh no, and Garion falls! All that progress goes away. Back to the start he goes. As Teeks is now in 1-4, and Macobra and Leslie Pro are dealing with Baby Bass on 1-2. And yes, this does mean Boss Bass may show up later, we don't know. Ooh, there's that raccoon tail I talked about. And since we know it's going to be 1-4 up ahead, then are we going to actually see that item? Well, we do get a music box from the Hammer Bro, but Leslie has yet to encounter it. And so, are we going to see the item? Leslie's in a good enough shape so that he can... No! Ran into the Roto Disc. That item is going to be unclaimed, but look at this, near sync by our top 2 runners. So the flag set, for those that have just tuned in, we have fixed the world order today, and the level numbers are going to be representative of their actual numbers today, with a possible exception or two that we may see later on. And as Boom Boom's taken out, Leslie has to deal with the Hammer Bro, as Macobra deals with, as we expected, the World 1 airship. Now, the airship may be the same, but the Koopa Kid is not. Or rather, the Koopa Kid is, but the attributes are not. But in this case, 3 hits is still enough. Leslie going for safety. I admit I missed what that item was. And Teeks saving that progress, taking out Boom Boom, and not going for the end card game. Brave. And here's a new message. Go out there with all you've got and win one for the Gipper. Who's the Gipper? There are a lot of references I don't understand. And the anchor returns. As we enter the desert, and this time we have the pyramid at the start of the world instead of the end. Now, while we do shuffle the enemies, still, there is always a few guaranteed buzzy beetles just so that we can get through the level. But of course, we kinda have to scroll them off and on in case we lose track of them. Alright, Teeks is now through and ready to enter the desert. Garion trying to get through 1-4. This has not been an easy start. However, Macobra is able to get through that pyramid. Just one giant bro, not a problem. Now, will this pipe take us somewhere good today? Maybe. Ooh! Here's what I talked about, folks. One of the flag changes is the number of fortresses amongst the first 7 worlds can be shuffled, which means we have a little bit of a sneak preview of World 5 here. There's your lava fort, folks. So since the desert world has gained a fort, most likely the sky world is going to lose a fort. But then that brings up the question, what tile replaces the fort? And looks like Macobra is deciding to just go back, take out the actual desert fort, which Leslie has already decided to do! Oh, the hot foot got in the way. Alright, Garion in the first fortress. I don't remember... Yeah, there's no tail here, so I don't think anyone got that treasure today. So, in this case, whatever it is will remain a secret to everybody. Alright. Boom Boom wants to restart the music, so it goes when he goes. But Boom Boom is gone. Leslie wants that power-up, decides not worth it. Alright, Hammer Bro in Giant Land in the desert. There's a star. And in the meantime, Teeks is going through 2-5, taking that long way, skipping the desert fort. Not necessarily a bad idea, but everyone's gonna have to deal with 2-3, the mini pyramid palace. And this time with an angry sun hanging in the back, but that's actually going to be a bad thing at this part right here. Oh, and with the Paragoomba, okay, Micro Goombas are dealt with. Will that shell take out the sun? Yes! Now we just have to wait patiently. There we go. And look at that, Teeks has managed to catch up by taking that path. Which means first and second are now in your top left and bottom right. Oh, but Macobra wants that fire, bro. And Teeks just wants to move on to Morton Koopa Jr.'s airship. Remember, the airships do not have scrolling. Oh, Leslie Pro gets caught in between the breakable pyramids. And now has to deal with the Hammer Bros, or not. That's what the music box is for, folks. You get 2 screen transitions worth of avoiding combat here. And, well, we're just getting our Earthquaking Koopa kids out of the way early today, folks. But Morton Koopa Jr. is no more, at least for Macobra. Alright, Leslie trying to get through to the end pyramid here, gets through, but now has to hope that that shell kills the sun. Doesn't! But is safely through. And Teeks manages to take just a 1 or 2 second lead right now as we enter the Waterland. Now, how good are the pipes here? Little hard to tell here, actually. 1, 2, 3, 4... Yeah, I mean, we have all of them, but we're gonna have to get through a stage or 2 in order for this to work out. And, ooh, unfortunately missing the star in 3, 2. Macobra about to follow in footsteps, and Leslie Pro following Morton Koopa Jr. as Teeks gets kissed by a Cheep Cheep. Not the greatest feeling in the world, let me tell ya. It's one thing to eat the fish, but I don't know about kissing the fish. That... Maybe if the Cheep Cheep was salted and oiled first, but that's neither here nor there. Maybe one day, Ice Grove, maybe one day. Alright, Macobra now in 3, I always want to say this is 3, 4, maybe 3, 5. It's definitely one of those 2. And, oh, Garion is in danger at the lava fort. One shot. Otherwise, all of that progress is lost. At least we have a mushroom right now. Alright, Macobra taking the pipe. Well, we get around the fort. But it's now time for 3-3. No boss bass in sight, so we can breathe a little bit. Oh no! Garion runs into the Podoboo. And back to desert we go. Again, you may be surprised at how hard the vanilla order can be, or at least the vanilla world order. We still shuffle the stage locations, and sometimes dealing with the levels in the same world can be tricky if they are all shuffled about. And Macobra realizes, nope, we can't get to the main fort, to the main airship. Yeah, we have to get through a fort. And Teeks is trying his luck at Door Fort. Now, there is a lock on this same screen. Will it break? In the meantime, Leslie Pro getting a little bit of a pickup. And oh no! Door Fort's the wrong one! We have to go to Water Fort! In the meantime, Macobra has a star and uses it! Just in time! Ooh, Door 5 to Door 6 star combo. That's not something you see every day here, folks. So all that time going to the end of the world, and we have to now go back to the beginning through 3-8. No boss bass, though. Maybe a baby bass. Yeah, looks like we have a baby bass, folks. But once you get up here, it's not a problem. And look at the sync for Teeks and Macobra. And then Garion and Leslie Pro getting their own cards. Look at this! 4 clears Just like that. Alright, Leslie likes the item game, gets a 1-up for the troubles, but remember, I don't think it's going to be a 1-up here. The prizes are shuffled, so we're going to have to pay attention to the inventory after this in order to confirm what is worth getting from here, if anything. Let's see, ooh, P-Wing and 2 Lakitu clouds. Not too bad. Unfortunately, Leslie Pro is going to fall for the same red herring that Macobra Antiques just did, as we now have Boom Boom going Boom Boom, and then Boom Boom again. And now we have to make our way all the way back, and all the way that... Oh, Teeks is forced to play the end card game here. Still, at least gets a free Tanuki suit for the trouble. And Macobra getting a hammer! In this flag set, the hammer can break the locks, but they will always be able to break the rocks, so... We've just added a little bit of spicy functionality here. And so, off to Wendy's airship. Or, excuse me, Wendy O's airship. Yeah, I know that there are some folks that like to have the full name pronounced, and I am still working on that with others. So, again, forgive me if I call anyone by their wrong names. It is a learning experience. Now, what we can learn about Wendy already, not going to be an Earthquaking Koopa Kid, we've already encountered both of them, unless there's a new flag rule that says that multiple kids can have the Earthquake ability. But for now, we don't need to worry about that as Macobra finishes off the female Koopa Kid. And oh, Arian did not see that Goomba, but the Goomba managed to see him. Alright, Leslie Pro gets... No! I don't know if we could get that quick kill on Boom Boom there. That transition was a little slow. Ooh, played it safe. Don't blame him. And, ooh, okay, there are at least 2 forts in World 4 today. We saw a lock and we saw a place that needs a bridge. And I think we have to go through. So welcome to 4-3, where Karibos like to hang out, but this is not the safest place to do so. And, oh, Leslie going for the star... Excuse me, the star kill again. And, oh, Garion runs into the sun, and I don't think there's enough sunblock to protect you from that. And as we can see, we are going to skip 4-4 today, which for most runners is a good thing. It's a water stage, and not many like the water stage. Ooh! The anchor is a random power-up per seed, and this time it is a Starman. Or excuse me, an invincibility star. Now, where does this pipe take us? Well, over to the Far Fortress. But it's 4-1, the Sideways Thwomp Fort, or the Candle Fort. Which means, if this is going by the pseudo-vanilla logic here, this is just gonna break the lock. At least, that's my working theory. We're gonna find out as Boom Boom goes kaboom boom once again. That is our second star kill by Macobra today. And I was proven wrong! Nice! In this case, the first fort is the one we want, but oh, Hammer Bros guarding properly. And Buzzy Beetle also guarding the pyramid. Alright, Hammer Bros swap places, oh, but then gets clonked by a hammer. And oh, that is a beautiful mini glitch that Macobra took advantage of. When the screen transitions to the side like that, you basically have 1 frame to press the button to move, and you can avoid an encounter. But Macobra has to win on this encounter. And, okay, come on, Hammer Bro, stop cheating on Teek's side, please. Bowser raised his army properly. That's all I can say, folks. And Garion going out of the way for 2-1, the Mortar Motorway, to try to get to that Toad House. But, not the friendliest way to go through. We actually have to deal with Patuis. Ooh, almost caught. Oh no, Fire Nippers, 2 of them! And that Toad House is going to stay guarded. And, whoa, that is one interesting grounded map for World 5. We have to go all the way up to break the, to form the bridge. And then we have to go up the tower and hope for the best. Now, here's the interesting thing. We saw the lava fort early on inside World 2. So we are going to see a duplicate 5-9 tile, I believe. Unless it just so happens that the removed fort comes from another spot, in which case, well, which one is 5-9 and which one is a random level? Our runners will not know until they enter. But for now, ground fort time. As Leslie Pro, just about to take out Wendy, using that Tanuki suit for good mobility and protection. Nice statue stomping. But Wendy's a strong one today. She's putting in the work. And so is Leslie. And there we go, Leslie wins. Alright, I believe I took enough notes for the levels that we saw on the ground for World 5. We've seen 5-1, we're in 5-4 now. What's that Batui doing floating in midair? I mean, I know that the up B move for the Piranha Plant is kinda powerful, but at the same time, you know, there's powerful moves and then there's more outright cheating here. What is with Bowser's forces today? Anyway, confirmed. 5-7, 5-8, and 5-2 are on the ground. While the Hammer Bros are trying to prevent Macobra from entering the tower. Remember, folks, no matter what type of level shuffle is in place, the tower is always going to have the same functionality. Start at the bottom, work your way to the top. And watch out for the roto-discs. Alright, Garion back in the pyramid, or at least the mini-pyramids. Angry Sun hot on his tail. Oh, there's a Boss Bass sighting, but that is one of the more ineffectual Boss Basses available, so, sorry, Boss Bass, you're gonna go a little bit hungry tonight, unless you reappear later. Alright, Leslie going immediately for Donut Fort 4-2. Or Fortress 2 of World 4, but this one's not going to be the one we need. And let's see. Oh! There are two tiles today. That's what happened. So, does that mean... I don't remember if we actually saw a 2-2 desert tile, and in this case we're gonna have to rely on Gary inside as a game over happens. No! I did not see a 2-2 tile there. And... wow, just like that, as I was trying to explain things about how the flag set works, Macobra has already taken out World 5. And Teeks is about to follow suit. Sorry, Roy, we're just gonna kind of ignore you there. Alright, at this point Leslie realizes... yeah, we have to go through the first fort today. Alright, World 6, Iceland. We already see one lock right there. We see two pipes. Will these two connect to each other? No, we get to bypass one lock entirely. As we now enter the Ice Fort, 6F2. And Macobra going for the fly strategy. Loses the B-speed right... oh, but manages to recover just in time. And Gary and I... hoping to get through 2... this entire desert world is causing problems, and admittedly, 2-3 is not necessarily an easy one. If you want the power-ups, you have to hope for a shell. And I don't recall seeing a good shell location within the first 3 pyramids. For that matter, yeah. Power-ups are inaccessible unless you want to bring this red Koopa Troopa over and hope that you manage to hit the brick. Oh, the Cobra attempting the speed boost trick there, but unfortunately didn't work. Also, yeah, where does this pipe go? Well, we see the near end and oh! There are only 2 fortresses in World 6, folks. Based off of the proper logic, we are going to see 3 fortresses in the pipe maze. World 8, Dark Land, is always going to have its 4 Boom Boom encounters. So how annoying is the pipe maze actually going to be here? I am genuinely curious. Anyway, time for 6-4, as Leslie Pro is done with World 4. And oh no, Garion is down to 1 life remaining. 2-3 is proving to be surprisingly difficult this seed today. And no! Burnt in the butt once again. Back to the start of Desert he goes. Alright, 6-1 or 6-6. The answer's obvious, 6-1. Unless you have a frog suit handy, and even then, you would still rather go through 6-1 than 6-6. And if that stage happened, and we already saw 6-8, so it doesn't matter. So hopefully, this match today is showing you don't have to randomize all the things if you want to still have a good time, or perhaps in Garion's case, an unintentional bad time here. Again, the desert stages have not been good for power-ups, and this is where Garion is hurting. A part of me wonders if it would be better to reset entirely, gain a lot of points from the early going, and then just play the end card game and hope to get a good set. And oh, Garion is over to the airship now. Come on, Garion, we're rooting for you. Oh, wait, 2, 3... oh, that was the pyramid, right, we still have to go through. No, I was mixing up my stages, right. Pyramid at the start this time, not the end, I apologize. But still, keep it up, Garion. Alright, pipe maze for Macobra. There are 3 fortresses, most likely. And so, of course, we have to start with Piranha Fort, because why the heck not? Come on, game, give us a break already. Okay, unlimited lives for, 7 F2 tortures. Not exactly what I call being merciful here. Apparently this seed has a mind of its own tonight, but that's how it goes. Oh, Paragoomba takes out Garion as Teeks is about to enter the airship. And Macobra down to small form against Boom Boom. 1, 2, 3, a boom. Boom. And of course, due to the way that World 7 works, if you have those 80,000 points, you are getting that end card no matter what. Now, which pipe? And there you go, 2 remaining forts. But remember the flag set, folks. Hammers break locks in this one, so whichever World 6 fortress we're missing, it don't matter. It was probably the elevator one, or the floor ghost one. But in this case, Macobra doesn't care. Ooh, that boss bass really wanted to bite Leslie Pro, but not this time. And, okay, Garion, you are down to 1 life, but you know this airship. Come on and get through it. Meantime, Macobra is safely flying through Ludwig von Koopa's airship. And whoa, Teek's flying through the Tunnel of Love in Piranha Fort. Look at that speed! That is certainly one aggressive way of playing the Piranha Fortress, folks. And praise the sun, Garion has gotten through Desert. But at the same time, Macobra has gotten through the pipe maze and gets the wraparound sequence breaks, so that helps too. Now, does Teeks have a hammer? Yes. Alright, World 8 is still World 8. Whoa, okay, that's an interesting start to World 8. There are still 4 Boom Booms, no matter what. One of those Boom Booms is guarding the way to Bowser's Castle one way or another. Oh. There's your loop around there. Let's try to be careful with that. Yeah, this is your Great Equalizer where you have to... Well, there's one of them, and it's your traditional Navy stage. Feel free to sing along at home if you have any particular thematic songs, but I am not going to do it today. Sorry if you folks actually wanted to hear it, but nope. Instead, we're just going to take Boom Boom out. A 1, a 2, a 3, a Boom Boom. And now... Sorry, chat, I can't sing it all the time. Alright, skipping over 8-1, and immediately encountering the super tanks. I don't even know where the locks are this time. I think we saw just one on the traditional hand bridge. Oh, looks like Teeks got grabbed by one of those hands, and gets a frog suit in exchange. Not necessarily the best, but... we'll take what we can get. Ooh, nice statue stump by Leslie Pro. You can take out Roto Discs with the statue, but they could also take you out just as much. Alright, we are on the other side of the hand bridge. And then we wrap around to the other side. Where... oh, 2 bridges left! Which means this is going to be a near full clear World 8. And of course we have to get through the airship and Bowser's Dark Door Maze before we can encounter the Koopa King himself. But the strange thing is, I only saw that one lock on the hand bridge. So I genuinely wonder where that other lock went. appropriate question from chat. What is this world? Dark World or Pipe Maze? So in this case, the way the pipes are set up, yeah, we have to go through a bit of a rigmarole in order to get to our destination. But that's how things go at times. And oh, Macobra, nicely done getting to that door in time, as Teeks through with 8-1. Alright, Leslie Pro now in the unexpected Iceland, even though we are in Iceland because it's filled with greenery. Any geography majors that want to tell me why Iceland is more green than ice and why Greenland is more ice than green, please inform me. Alright, Macobra trying to clip over there through Bowser Koopa's castle, then tried a second one, but no, looks like Bowser Koopa's walls this time are made out of Nintendium. But the everyman, or the every person clip, and those walls are never as strong. Whoa! Okay, Macobra wanted to get through a long one, and there we go. Now we just have to wait a little bit, and then we fall down into one of Bowser's arenas. I want to say it's 30 fireballs necessary to take out the Koopa King. Just gotta make sure to not get breathed on, and there we go. One more thump for good measure, as Macobra 52 is ready to go through that door and rescue the princess. Get your GGs out in chat, folks. Macobra 52 has finished in first place with an official SRL time of 35 minutes, 30 seconds. And, oh, Garion had another game over in Waterland. Alright, give me a few moments, folks. I want to see if Macobra at least wishes to join for an interview. And now Teeks is approaching Boom Boom, the final Boom Boom in this case. As Leslie enters, well, of course, it's Piranha Fort. Alright, Garion's stopping by the Toad House, not a bad idea. Oh! Almost everyone eventually gets bit by a piranha plant in Piranha Fort. And oh, nice clip by Teeks, getting the short one, avoiding the platform. Missing the one up, but not a big deal. Again, this is the final stage. Now, there is one other change I should mention about the randomizer here, and you're gonna notice it on Teeks' side. Those, fireballs are at random spots, and that laser on the Bowser statue works, which means you are going to see Teeks have to go through this the, intended way. As we now welcome Macobra 52 here in the commentary booth, GG.
GG. Fortunately, that clip for me worked on the first try. That was pretty awesome.
It looked on my end that Bowser had made his castle walls today out of Nintendium.
I would say so. Pretty straightforward path to the end there. I mean, pretty much figure out where you needed to go, and pretty much all the forts were required. Well, I'm not sure if Navy was required or not, but I did it anyway. So
considering considering that was the only stage whose lock I didn't see, I think it actually was required.
Okay.
And it looks like Teeks has just finished as well. 38 minutes, 27 seconds.
GG Teeks.
Alright, give it a few moments, folks. You are going to soon hear the background music for the game. But otherwise, so we are used to randomizing world order and what the tiles mean for the levels here. In this case, how much easier or harder was it, considering that you knew what level you were getting into for the most part?
Good question. It did make some decisions easier, like in World 6. I was in that final section, and choices are 6-1 or 6-6, and obviously I'm gonna play 6-1 instead. But yeah, it just know what level you're about to go into and being able to play around it. It's kind of nice, actually. I like it.
Well, it did prove harder for some than others. Honestly, Worlds 1 and 2, based off of that level order, did seem tricky. I mean, you had to deal with going all the way to the end in order to get a 4th checkpoint. And the way that the power-ups are set in World 2's levels, you were not given much of an opportunity to gain power-ups.
Oh yeah, that was the case for me too. I had trouble keeping them, and I took a death action in the very first level. That's where it set the tone for the rest of that overall. I felt.
Yeah, that 1-5 intro was certainly something.
Yeah, but I just couldn't keep a power up to save my life for enough. I'm not sure what was going on there. Just wasn't my night in that regard.
Everyone struggled a little bit, so don't feel too bad.
Yeah, also overall kind of a long seed than I'm used to, Wolf Reeve's been alongside. Four is actually kind of short. 5, you had to take the tower up to the sky half. 6 had a nice shortcut, and 7 seemed pretty straightforward too. So overall, not quite jet, but at the same time, not too could have been worse, I suppose.
I mean, mind you, the only reason why 7 was easy in your case was because you had a hammer.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I didn't feel like playing Guess the Fort, so I just hammered the lock and went on. I think I found like 2 hammers that seed, I want to say. 2 or 3.
I think that's how many you had access to, because you and Teeks, for the most part, had the same strategy.
I gotcha.
Alright. And for those that are wondering and perhaps just having this broadcast on radio mode, Leslie Pro is almost done with the Dark Door Maze. And Garion, this has not been his night. He is currently in Waterland. Those, the way those power-ups and stages were set, it's really making a difference.
Yeah, I mean, at least you have Zen cards to fall on, but yeah, power-ups are overall kind of scarce. I mean, even early on, I only had like access to use it boxes and stars. I think that was pretty much my inventory there. I didn't bother with end cards this time around. Was there anything useful out of the end cards? Did you see?
There were some Lakitu clouds and I think a P-wing.
Ah, okay, not bad.
But there is certainly nothing wrong with rushing through the end cards if that's not your strategy. It depends entirely on, whether you find playing the end card game worth it.
Yeah, usually you just worth playing one whole round just to see what is in the pool, and from there, I mean, you can try and do a second round, snipe the good items. I mean, depending on what's there, but this time I just said, I just want bought in cards to see how it goes.
Well, I don't think it made the difference entirely, but you still managed to... Oh, that was a big jump by Wendy.
Oh, yeah. Ooh, 5-hitter, too.
Yeah, you may have gotten the Quaking Koopa kids out of the way, but, honestly, Bowser's forces were representing tonight. That's just...
I don't think any of them had more like 1 or 2 hits. Maybe
No.
one like 2-hitter, but yeah. They sure ate the Wheaties tonight.
Yeah, Bowser wanted to get those plumbers, and in this case, well, they will be celebrating tonight for more than one reason. So, I have mentioned a little bit about how we were messing with a particular flag set, and honestly, Macobra, I would like you to explain why.
Well, I guess it's time to make it official. The Super Mario Bros. Randomizer 2020 tournament is officially a go.
Now,
and this will be our new Tourney Group 1 flag set. And format will be the same as last year, pretty much. That's really the only difference, really. This is our new Tourney Group 1. Group 2 will be the same as before in the bracket as well. All the randomizer settings will be turned on, and cards be present early on so that you can have a safety to rely on. But for the bracket stages, it'll be hammers don't break locks, no end cards. It'll really test the player's skill level out. So looking forward to everyone joining in, and any and all skill levels are welcome, and just have a great time with it.
And we are always looking for volunteers for the tournament and any other speed gaming event here. So if you wish to help out in some fashion, by all means, please do so. There are appropriate forms and things to go for. Link is in the chat.
Yes, the more the merrier. Commentators, restreamers, or any and all volunteers are welcome.
And speaking of welcoming, Leslie Pro 04 should get a warm GG welcome from everyone in chat. We have a 46-12 finish. Let's see if he wishes to speak with us. So, I am personally looking forward to the new tournament. I like calling this game, even if I don't always get the opportunity to. And I know, you probably want me to actually participate in it. We'll see, Macobra.
Yeah, be nice to see you actually hop on in and race with us.
I mean, keep in mind, the only way I'm gonna win is if it's a frog percent match, and there's no way that's going to happen, so...
But yeah, any and all skill levels are welcome. I mean, it don't matter, if you're a speedrunner or not. I mean, speedrunners, knowing the strats can prove beneficial, but they're in the end not required, because, if everything randomized, it's kind of hard to utilize them in general, with few exceptions. But yeah, come on, come on.
What can I say? I like actually more on the helping side of things. Plus, I actually like to take my time for most of this, even when I do use proper timer and everything. But with that in mind, we now have Leslie Pro 04 here in the commentary booth. GG.
Hey, Cobra. It's been a while since I've played a steed like this.
Hey, GG's.
Yeah, I certainly...
Whoops! Get a mute. Whoop, I had the unexpected echo happen as I was loading up Speed Gaming 2. My bad.
I didn't even notice that, but good on you for catching. But yeah, sorry I gave such a controversial, I guess, seed here.
Well, I wouldn't call it too controversial. I'd just call it a case of a seed that's interesting. Well, it was an interesting seed, I'll say that much. I mean, I sub-50'd it with a controller that's been giving me the business these past few weeks, so I'll take it as a win.
We may want to get you a new controller, considering the official 2020 tournament has been announced.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Macobra drop that link into the stream channel, yeah, that's exactly what I'm thinking. So I can feel as though my game's coming along. And yes, it's been a while since I've had a seed where end cards actually were available, and they did give something useful in clouds. So I will take that fact. I'm so not used to that, I had some left over.
Well,
Yeah.
I at least want to give you some extra props, Leslie. You were either the only one to complete level 1-5 Deathless, or you were the first one out of there.
I ain't sure either, but to be fit, but the way my mind is set for 1-5 in Rando, don't take the slope slide because that is a surefire way to take damage.
You got that right.
Yeah, the way the levels were placed, considering the flag set, you knew that it was going to be the vanilla order, and you knew that unless we were dealing with, shuffled forts, that the number you saw was the world level number you were going to encounter. For the first 2 worlds, it was very scarce on power-ups.
Yeah, I noticed that too, and that gave me some trouble with the Hammer Bros in World 2 as well, because the positioning of that one with the Fire Bro just, I didn't have a chance. Well, because Fire Bros in water, a small Mario is basically a death sentence.
Yeah, that is one of the hardest encounters to deal with. And it's just, ugh. Even I get nervous about that.
Yeah, true that. I was pleased with how World 7's routing played out. It looked like there were extra forts there, so I just played 7F2, took the pipe. I'm like, you know what? I'm here on the island, close enough to the end. Screw this, take me to World 8.
So the reason that World 7 had an extra fort was because World 6 had one less.
World 2 had an extra as well, I noticed.
And that ended up taking away a stage, that took the fort from World 5. But in this case, we don't know which one was the Desert Oasis and which one was 5-2 proper, because you were able to avoid both of them.
Yeah, it helped. I didn't avoid both of them. I played one of them and skipped the other. In fact, the one I played was Desert Fort. So that red one was 5F2.
Yep. And it wasn't necessarily a bad decision to skip the fort. Because, Lava Fort is not the easiest one to go through, especially with the world being as power-up scarce as it was.
Yeah, that's about as power-up starved a start of a seed as I've seen in, ever for this rando. Not sink or swim time, really.
Yeah.
You and I have trouble keeping power up, Leslie.
Yeah, like I said, doesn't help when you have a controller that's giving you the business. I may have to do one more remapping so the jumps don't give me trouble with this game. I mean, it's not going to help me with A Link to the Past, let's face it, because you sort of need all the buttons on the controller for that one. But for this, I might be able to make something work. We shall see.
Yeah, hopefully I will not be punished from seed rolling because of what happened tonight.
Well, at least it wasn't Dave rolling a Zelda 1 rando seed.
Yeah, it could have been worse.
That's exactly what I was getting at.
You want me to try to roll a worse rando seed?
Not quite what I was getting at, because there are worse things that can be rolled with a randomizer seed, believe me.
But as far as SMB3 goes, this is definitely in the upper echelon of difficulty.
At least it wasn't 6-6 to start, power-up starved seed.
Yeah, this just goes to show, sometimes keeping some of the flags in check, it can still be a challenge.
Oh yeah, no doubt about it, but that's also part of the fun.
Yeah, basically with the word order vanilla and the levels vanilla, the aim was sort of to have that sort of difficulty progression. You know what I mean? That way, like all the hard levels in World 6 and 7. So those tend to be with this flag set. They're going to be in the later half of the game. So that was sort of the intent behind these flags, just to have that difficulty curve going. Yeah, in this case, yeah, I'm kind of scared. So the early game ended up being a bit of the challenging side.
Well, challenging this was, and again, I apologize for any hurt feelings I caused on this seed.
I've had randomizers do some worse things to me lately. Case in point, the Zelda 3 rando qualifiers have just been... Ugh. Need I say it? Ice Rod and Pendant Mire. Come on, game.
I have stayed more with the daily races on Speed Gaming, so I haven't really kept up with the tournament action, but yeah, that's kind of nasty. I'll give you that.
Yeah, the quals have not been kind, so I'm waiting for the Challenge Cup tournament at this point, unfortunately, because hey, goes to show you that with luck like that is why I don't play the lottery.
Fair enough. With that in mind, I admit I am running low on questions, but if either of you wanted to stick around and help commentate the end of this, we still have one runner that is getting through this. I wouldn't object to having some backup.
Oh, I can stick around.
Yeah, same here.
Alright, I'll get you to the link, and I at least need a minor water break, so alright, there you folks go. Let's cheer Garion on. Alright, hopefully you two have those working links. Right now I'm seeing Garion going through the end card game.
Yeah, same here.
Ditto.
Alright, you folks also went through 6-4. How was... Ooh, that's a nasty chain jump.
Yeah, I took a hit there too, unfortunately. Oh no.
I think that's where I used one of my clouds. No, I'm glad I did.
Now, I don't think I saw anyone go for this coin ship here.
It ran away from me.
Yeah, I mean, pretty much you just hammered the rock and you're on your way. I mean, for the most part, there's one fort you had to play, of course, unless you had two hammers. But yeah, Gary's gonna play both Hammer Brothers here. Took a hit. Unfortunate.
Still has a star, though, so... Now, what did this one have?
Of course, another star. Star first star.
Hey, we will take that right now. At least it wasn't a loss of inventory, just a minor loss of time, but ooh.
You got through it. I was about to say, that'd be a good spot to use that star, but...
Oh.
Should have went for this. Should have went with that platform that stood still right there.
Yeah, not the easiest one, and I do not blame Garion's decision to P-Wing.
I just still popped a star though to get rid of that first section of enemies. Just gonna fly over the whole level here and take the easy way. Don't blame him.
Oh yeah, there's the Cloud Heaven pipe if you were curious, and there is, what's it? How do you get to those 8 coins? I don't recall there being a vine there.
There might be one up in the middle, I'm not sure.
It's been a while since I've looked at the maps of these levels, but... Oh! There... We had to take out that fort.
Yeah, that very first one. Yeah, this isn't the correct one. It's actually
not
6-2. 6-2.
It was the ice fort. Got it. Yeah.
Yep.
This one is just going to... Yeah, these forts have not been kind. The levels have not been kind. It's... So just to clear up some things from chat, because we do have some new folks wondering how these randomizers work. So basically, this is the first time that our runners have actually played this particular seed and flag set combination. They may be familiar with the vanilla game, they may not. They may have played numerous other seeds before, but this particular one is the first time that they've seen it. And this one was not easy. This is probably one of my top 5 hardest seeds I've ever rolled for Super Mario Bros. 3 Rando. Now, as far as how seeds get selected, we just put a command in a bot program, it gives out the seed number, but the one who inputs the command, it is typically seen as the one that controls it, because, reasons. I take it with a minor badge of honor. The only time we would do fixed seeds, they would be for specific events. And as far as could someone have actually practiced a specific seed, that would require the same random number and same flag set or options to have been chosen prior and then the same one later. And the odds of that are kinda low.
Yeah, I think there's like billions of possible seed numbers that the randomizer can choose from. So yeah.
Yeah, to play all the different randomization options, that would be way too much time on my hands. And yes, I know it's the internet, but there's only so much time one person can have. So there's just no way.
Gary can go for 6-1, the better choice here.
Yeah, I saw that and I'm like, and I looked at the other option and I'm like, nope. Oh.
Yeah, fire snakes are not helping here.
Yeah, it's actually a rare set of enemies you see there, like the fire chomps and the fire snakes. Usually boss bass shows up, but not today in that level.
I was expecting a boss bass in that level. Did not see one, was a surprise. Now, interesting thing to note about 6-1, if you have a Starman and you hit one of the first coin block before the star wears out, you get an extra star. Same with the second one, which I did not know about this game until I played Rando.
Oh,
That
interesting.
That is actually a feature in the vanilla game. 5.7 has that as well with some of its question blocks, but the difference there is I think you can actually get a star early on. Or do you have to spend the star there first? I forget.
No, the star is there, but it's down a hidden pipe that, from a speedrun standpoint, you would only see in an all P-switch category, but due to where the P-switch is, you're probably just going to be using a P-wing through that level anyway, because the P-switch is in a very tough to fly to position.
Okay.
So without a P, yeah, it's a tough one to get to.
Alright, then in that case, that's another one where you have to use a star from your inventory in order to get the above sky star chain that I was talking about.
I mean, you could get it in theory because the star is down low, the P-switch is way up high, but your movement would have to be really good.
You misunderstand me, Leslie. There are question blocks similar to 6.1 where in 5.7, if you use a star at the start, you can encounter more stars that way. You don't have to go underground at all.
Fair point. Never thought of it that way.
But wait, seriously? P-switch categories? That's a thing?
Yep, there is an all P-switch category now. This pipe, I believe, goes right to the island. Yes, it does.
Oh!
Woo!
So
That's nasty.
That's where the third lock was.
Oh, that's nasty.
That's a lot of locks.
Yeah, that's, again, one of the changes, with the new version of the randomizer. We do allow for forts to shuffle themselves across worlds, so, we get situations like that, and then, of course, hi, once again, 7F2, we're going to see you here, we're going to hate you, and, yeah.
Especially when there's someone up in that block.
Yeah, I would have preferred a Starman there. This is my favorite level, said no one ever.
Funny enough, when I saw Teeks go through this level, he just blazed through it in a very aggressive fashion and was able to keep the fire flower the whole way through.
Impressive.
Wow.
Keeping your power up through this level is no small feat. Oh no, he slipped! That's a painful one to take.
Oh,
man.
the Tunnel of Love is a bad area no matter what power-up you have. And you really want to be careful when you attempt to interrupt the lovers in the pipes. Because you never want to cause moments like that.
Got hit, but this time, it stuck the landing.
Ooh, gotta be careful there. You are not given much room. Whew,
Get to the
okay.
first room. Man. You can't hold your breath for this. Like,
Yeah. For those that wonder, I mean, again, this randomizer is designed to work for people of all skill levels. Don't use this specific seed as an example here. I rolled a hard one. And you want to know what the worst part is? Garion doesn't have a hammer.
He's got to find another fort. Oh no.
yeah.
And we don't know which fort it is. All of you used hammers to avoid having to basically go 50-50. So this is new territory for everyone. And so we're going to hope that this one... There's 6F3. I knew we didn't see it earlier.
Yep.
Yep, I knew I didn't see it either. which compared to 7F2 is nothing. But then again, 7F2 is the hardest fort in the game.
Funny enough, I consider this fort, the second or third hardest. And we don't have a lot of good power-ups to get through at this point. All those Lakitu clouds that were built up, they may help to bypass 8-1 when we get into Darkland, but otherwise, they're dead weight. They're not going to help to get through the hand stages. If those hands want you, they will grab you.
Yeah, but to top things off, the anger to see was a music box, so not too much help there.
And the power-up for the that you get for the hands? Frog suit.
Oh, no.
Well, that was better than what the anchor rolled this seed. I just about cringed.
Well, the Starman proved useful for Macobra at one point, so don't discount the Starman immediately. Oh! Flying Boom Boom.
Yeah, I had a flying boom boom get away from me earlier. That was a little bit on the scary side, but made it through.
Speaking of frog suits. Yeah, we're gonna use it. Human Mustard, if you are watching this, we have a little bit of... Never mind. We tried, but Frog Percent is gone already. Another day, though.
Yeah, you could say that it croaked.
Why did you have to say that right as Garion landed in the spikes?
That's just the luck that I have in general.
Oh, and look at these pipes. They just bring themselves to each other.
Oh, man. Gary not want to play that fort. He has no other choice, so, I mean, unless he tries to find the other one.
The other one is on that top island, but you have to remember the pipes that you took. And what may be bad here is the only way to get up there is to go through the bottom island. Nope, never mind. We just have to go through 7-8.
No. He might double cloud this, actually.
I don't blame him one bit. Oh, hey, it's 7F1, Fort Knox.
Yeah.
No enemies here, so he might have a chance if you can...
As long as he doesn't fall in the lava at any point, we're good, because you are forced to have a tail when you encounter Boom Boom, so you are guaranteed a number of hits. It's just a matter of avoiding the lava in that one room, and then you're good. Though, honestly, I would have considered taking the extra time and actually going for coin runs.
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, I did that myself recently, and it paid off in more ways than one, because I think that was last week at part of the controller troubles. I wasn't able to line up stars, so I'm like, okay, here's 7F1. Let's just not take a chance.
I mean, it's certainly a good farming spot if you're willing to spend the time, but of course, as this is speed gaming, I know a number of us like to try to get through as fast as possible, but don't be afraid to go for safeties. I emphasize this with whenever I call Link to the Past runs. There is nothing wrong with going for safeties if you're not as comfortable with the game. Or even if you are comfortable!
Oh no! Boom Boom with a clothesline!
And that's one cloud down. And oh, I see what Garion's trying to do. Both get the power up and secure, just a midway point. But we have to get through these
no.
munchers, and it didn't work. And so we're back here. That's strike 2.
So he's going to try 7-8 now. 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 7-8 now.
Piranha Alley with the Angry Sun, at least it's not Boss Bass. That, and no matter what it is, we can always despawn. And fair question from chat, does Gary and Old Wolf know the pause trick for the Metronome Munchers? Unsure, but possibly irrelevant here, because technically Garion was landing on the Venus flytrap, which was up. So it didn't matter there. But with that, the Angry Sun is taken out, and we have a Tanuki suit preloaded. 7A wasn't that bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's just that ugliness with the jumps at the end. Even so, that's a stage that, ugh, no.
And Gary and old habits die hard, I get it. Now just don't fall to Boom Boom and we're good. There's a 1. There's a 2. There's a 3. And there's the Boom Boom.
And with authority by doing the statue stomp.
Now, which lock was broken? Survey says... Oh,
find the Toad House.
Well, he could have got an item there for safety.
Well, at least it wasn't the booby prize pipe, so we'll take that. Anyway, survey says... That's the correct one.
Okay.
And immediately using one of those music boxes. But we still have to be careful. Easy there, Garion.
In the words of Lando Calrissian, that was too close.
Yeah, Ludwig's airship, even without auto-scrolling, it is still tough! Oh no!
Thud. Still has another chance at it, but no other items as the anchor is also the music box.
Yep.
Which means, I don't know if any of you had checked what that second power-up was.
The Piranha stage?
Oh! No, I skipped it.
1 shot left. And Garion's going for it with the Piranha Fort, hoping for the item. Oh,
God. Yeah.
That was some terrible timing there, man.
That was real unfortunate.
Well, on the bright side, the forts stay beaten.
And this is actually one world where getting a game over does not result in that much progress lost, all things considered.
Now I guess to try another box in this Toad House, see if it's got something different. Nope, he tries the same exact one, gets the same exact result.
Technically... I mean, I know the Toad Houses are shuffled as part of this. It's not something we talk about often, but they are shuffled. And aw, Baby Bass trying to make an appearance. Bye-bye!
Right, you never find a hammer or cloud in a Toad House. They're
Oh, P-Wing. I would not blame Garion if he wanted to use it right here, right now, but no, going in legit first.
Think he might be trying to save that P-Wing for later.
I mean, considering that Air Force, I believe, is a guaranteed stage, I don't blame him. Now, what's in that box? It's a leaf! And it's gone. The rocky wrenches have to ruin all the fun, don't they?
Well, they do like to throw a wrench in our plans.
Tish. Alright, Ludwig von Koopa, let's do this. And thus, Garion Old Wolf is ready to encounter Darkland. And one more Mega Man joke for good measure. And thus, we get to talk about how this world caused some problems. Looks like Garen's gonna get another frog suit at the end of this.
This was actually the only hand stage I came across, and it was just like, whatever, go ahead.
Remember, all 3 hand stages have the same power-up. But sometimes those frog suits do help for extra hits. And, okay, Garion is soon going to learn that the 2 pipes will take you basically right next to each other.
Yep. This does happen sometimes with these randos. Now, this one in the corner will take us all to our favorite spot, the Navy. But he's not playing it.
Oh, gonna explore some more, huh?
Yeah, I don't blame Garion on this one bit. Plus, I don't think we actually... Oh, playing 8-1. That's brave. Oh!
But he slipped right off.
Yep.
8-1 is not the easiest one to go through, but at this point, down to 1 cloud. And I think Garion is trying to go to the Navy stage, but we're back to where we started. Yeah.
You think about playing the Navy stage that way, you know, by process of elimination, that's the only way forward, so... Well...
No, this is the stage to P-Wing.
Yeah, I would agree.
Plus, we can go in...
Good.
Yeah, we can go in that pipe right there, either get a power-up or 3-up, depending on how it's rolled, but in this case, nope, Garion just wants to fly to the end, and I don't blame him.
I agree. 8-1 can be nasty.
So the unfortunate part, chat, is that once you use an item, it's gone. That was the 1 P-Wing Garion had, and honestly, it was used in the correct stage. Ah, that's where one of the locks was.
I think that was the lock that the Navy stage broke.
Yeah, because I don't recall seeing it either.
But then that means the Navy stage wasn't required. Interesting.
Yep.
This broke let's think about this. This broke a lock on this particular screen, which we know was definitely required by default because you can't pass super tanks or any of the Navy vehicles.
Yeah, okay, so in this case, we had to go through super tanks. Oh, we got... Okay, mini cheap chase here. Oh!
Just be glad this isn't Mario Maker cheaps, because they'd be on fire.
Got that right. And here is the pipe that takes us over to Bowser Koopa's doorstep, or not yet, right. We have to warp to the other side first and then do... This was a very strange World 8.
Yeah, it really was. That's the pipe to Bowser's Castle, but I believe by process of elimination, yep, it's World 8 fort that's required to build the other bridge.
That is correct. Airship and Dark Door Maze are the ones today. Which ironically means the Navy stage, which I didn't sing, was not required. And I'm sure I made many folks in chat angry because of that.
I think the Sea did a good enough job of making folks angry in chat.
No, there are some folks in chat that were expecting me to sing, and I purposely chose not to. I mean, Chat, you know I'm a horrible singer here.
Excuse me.
You can agree it's not a problem.
All right, just 8F away from knocking on Bowser's doorstep.
And Garion knows it, hopefully. At the very least, he's likely just to go back into that pipe once this stage is beaten, so it's all a wash anyway.
He does need to keep this mushroom though, because that's the only way he can progress in the dungeon here.
Oh
Yeah.
no, the mushroom's gone, which,
Well, he did break the rock in time, so it's okay.
That is true. We didn't have to go into a swamp corner on the left, so we get to save a little bit of time. Starman may help, but remember, these are still conveyor belts. If you're not careful, they will throw you off.
Here's the problem. He's got to be careful here. I know he's trying for the speed strat, makes it over.
Not gonna go for the double door. No!
That's just unfortunate timing right there.
Yeah, forced to slow down due to the hot foot, and then the roto discs just were having none of it.
Yep, they converged on him.
Alright. Brick broken, and this time we are Super Mario.
Ooh.
And oh, this time the star goes away from us.
Yeah, the reason that happened is because that has to do with the direction that your sprite hits the side of the block on. Because it was on the right side, it went left, as unfortunately Garion goes right into the roto disc down to last life.
Yeah, this is unfortunate, because if he games overs here, we'll have to play 1 once again, without a P-Wing.
And that is not a fate I wish on anyone.
I was just about to ask, does he still have that cloud? Because if he does, he can cloud away.
I think it was used already. Otherwise, one shot to skip over, but at least we would get a fresh set of lives for this fort. But then, if another game over happens, well...
Let's not think about that.
Agreed. Okay, hot foot damage. Alright.
Okay, good. That's okay. Still alive, still in this.
Just have to deal with getting around the swamp.
Twice.
Alright.
Alright.
I would go for the power-up, but no,
Basement. Oh no.
Oh!
Flipping!
I don't think that was intended.
Yep.
And this is not an easy boom boom to take out
Oh
because
god.
of the conveyor belt.
Fine.
Oh
That was a very good effort by Garion in that fight, but it just came up a little short.
man. I was hoping you'd clutch it out, man.
But now, this is going to be a crazy strategy. What about intentionally going for the hand stages?
Well, he's cloud 8-1 now, so looks like he's gonna try it up again with a full set of lives here.
Oh, I see what he's doing.
Well, going for the normal tank stage instead. There is an item here.
There is. To get back to my theory, I mean, both theories end up working the same way. There is an item at the end of the stage, plus there is a guaranteed power-up opportunity, especially since you are small. But at the same time, it's... Ooh! I would play this very carefully here. None of the power-ups are going to help. I thought the anchor was originally a Starman. That's what it looked like when I saw it on the Cobra side. And I was mistaken there. But it's a music box.
Yeah, this is the one time where the anchor really is rubbish.
Pretty much. I think it's been mentioned to Fred before that I think the music box in general should have a secondary usage.
It does have a valid use here, but oh no, last life. I don't blame Garion for this decision at all. I honestly think going for the hand stage a bit would have been better, but if we have a life loss here, no more Lakitu clouds. We have to go through 8-1. No.
Oh boy.
And at this point, Garion knows it. If we want to finish this seed, we have to go through 8-1 legit. There is no way around it, Garion. At best, the Navy will give you 1 mushroom early, but you have to be able to keep it, and you only get 1 shot after.
Yeah, that's not an easy mushroom to keep. In fact, getting the fire flower from there, I don't know how the any percent runners do it, to be honest.
And furthermore, cannonball to the face. Based off of process of elimination, all that this Navy ship does is it unlocks a 2.
Which is another level you prefer not to mess with.
I mean, it's either big chasm of note block doom, power up pit of shame, or coin pit of shame. But the unfortunate part here is, in order to encounter 8-2, you have to be at 8-1 here. I mean, I know this is the randomizer, but that's just genuinely how it worked today.
Yeah, sometimes the way these maps roll out, that's just how it falls, and in this case, that's exactly how it fell.
Which means we have to go through this and hope for the best. Skipping that power-up on the other side of the pipe, I don't blame Garion for that. Oh!
A little late there.
Yeah, and technically, I think there is a power-up in those brick blocks, but ignoring it for now. Oh, and runs into the hot foot at the end. That's a dangerous spot to run.
Yeah, pretty much all the power-ups here are really difficult to go for. We got the bullet bills and the piranha plants to deal with.
I mean, I know that sometimes we say that 7-8 is one of the worst stages, but this one can top it. But at the same time, typically we have ways of skipping both of those stages. And it just so happens, okay, that was a close bullet bill explosion. Typically we don't have to worry about 8-1, especially since with the settings that we're used to running, 8-1 can easily appear anywhere else. But in this case, that bullet bill timed itself perfectly for that.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate timing for Gary and nothing he could do there.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, come on, Garion. Just has to be careful. Oh no, runs out. 1 more life.
Come on now, Garion.
Sometimes that jump just doesn't work for you. You hit the button and Mario doesn't jump for some reason.
That has to do. I'll explain that in a moment, as Garion unfortunately takes another death, and that's a game over.
And a timer reset. Folks, please provide whatever heart or love-based emotes you have. Garion has dropped from the race.
I don't blame him one bit. He put out a heck of an effort. Also, that one point I was about to make is the corner pixels of blocks in platforming side-scroller games are notorious for eating inputs. And anyone who has played a side-scroller game has run into that at one point or another.
Yeah, I mean, this seed's going down in history unintentionally. We need to let Proa know this one's going in the Hall of Shame. But otherwise, I mean, kudos to Gary, and he's going to pass on an interview. I don't blame him. Hopefully, he's able to recover. Let this week pass by, and hopefully, we'll get to see you folks for another weekly race. I don't know if we are going to have one next week due to Thanksgiving weekend, but we'll see.
Yeah, stay tuned for that. Also, if you weren't here previously, the 2020 Marker Randomizer tournament has been announced. I just dropped the challenge link here. Registration is open, but it closes January 24th, 2020. From there, we will promptly begin the group stages. So basically, same structure as last year. We're starting with a double round robin, groups of 5, and I believe the top 2 in each group advance on to the bracket stages. The only difference between this year and last year, the flags you see here that you have seen here tonight, they are our new Tourney Group 1 flag set. So Tourney Group 2 and the bracket flags will stay the same. So looking forward to it. Hope to see you all in. Again, you don't have to be a speedrunner. You don't have to be too. I mean, the more familiar you are, the better. But obviously, we welcome any and all players. All skill levels.
Indeed. Please follow our 4 runners, Gary and Old Wolf, Leslie Pro 04, Macobra 52, and Teeks 88. Maybe follow me if you felt that I did a half-decent job trying to keep you entertained, but I mean, honestly, give the runners more of the love than me. I'm just a silly dance dad type of guy that just calls matches as I see them. And look, Ice Grove, I'm allowed to take a break from singing for a match or 2. It's not that big of a deal.
Everybody needs breaks sometimes. That's just the reality of it.
So the next weekly, just so it's clear, I don't know if there is going to be one next Saturday or the one after because of the American Thanksgiving holiday. But if there is a weekly, it will typically take place Saturday evenings, 9 p.m. U.S. Eastern Time. But we still have plenty more events coming up that are not just randomizers, but all over the Speed Gaming networks. The big thing to focus on, though, is the Super Nintendo Superstars. So if you are unfamiliar with that, it is a week-plus long event of many of your favorite Super Nintendo games, plus a few randomizers tossed in, various ways of playing them, and who knows, you may even hear me call a game or 2. I actually did earlier this morning. And it wasn't a randomizer, too, so, who knows? Go to Speed Gaming 1, support everyone over there as they are going through this marathon session. That's most likely where we're going to send you. I believe Super Metroid is currently being played right now, but after that will be Clock Tower. But otherwise, Macobra, Leslie, any final thoughts before we wrap things up?
You first, Macobra. Go ahead.
Not the best of seeds, but again, I've seen worse, so I gave it like a 2 out of 5, I guess.
Yeah, this certainly wasn't as bad as it could have been. I feel, honestly, I thought I did okay with it, all things considered, still sub 50'd it. And as mentioned earlier, join the upcoming tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun. I filled out the sign up already while things were proceeding. So, yeah, definitely join the tournament. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Yes, any and all skill levels welcome. You got plenty of time to download the randomizer yourself, give it a few runs and join on in and see what happens here. The more the merrier.
Indeed. For everyone here today, this is Wolfman2000, aka Danstad, saying, keep on grooving and watch out for Boss Bass. We will most likely send you over to Speed Gaming Prime for the continuation of SNES Superstars shortly. Have a good night, all.
GG's, have a good night.
Have a good night, everybody.